Well, good evening. This is Larry Perkins, and I'm your host today for Town by Town, celebrating our roots. And I can't tell you how delighted I am to talk to our featured guest today, because Mr. Silver epitomized starting your roots and having your roots grounded here in Enfield in Halifax County. And he's a businessman, military man, and I want to thank you for your service, because, you've given it back. You're back home and doing a lot of things. So I just want to thank you, Tony, Mr. Tony Silver, for being here today and doing this podcast, celebrating your roots town by town. So let's get right into it.
Yes, sir.
Tony, many people left Enfield to find a better life and to do different things. You stayed. Why did you make that commitment to staying and building your business and your family here?
Well, Mr. Perkins, life outside of Enfield, I really never considered it. Enfield has always been a great place to me. Enfield has inspired me to be able to raise my family here, to be able to build my business here. For a person from the outside looking in, Enfield is a great place.
Yeah.
It's granted me opportunity to be able to grow and learn and to become what I consider myself a good neighbor and a friend to this community.
Well, Tony, you wear many, many hats. Deacon in the church, planning board, family, business, all these type of things. How do you wear so many hats? And with that, with all those hats that you're wearing, how is that shaping your vision for Enfield?
Well, Mr. Perkins, spiritually, being spiritual is key for me. Putting God first in everything that my endeavors, anything that I have acted on, I always went to prayer first. Yeah. Being spiritual and then tying community together, that's a bond that's going to be hard to break. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Building a community spiritually, filling a community with love and hope. Hope is a key word for me. There's so much hope lost here in Enfield because it's a lot of noise. So I'm expected, and I will move forward in my spirituality with love and hope to back it up.
Wow.
With the very most intentions of providing charity, which is the greatest of all.
Oh my goodness,
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So looking back on your childhood, growing up in Enfield, the lessons and the values that you learned here as a child, how do you think those shaped your vision today and the man you are?
Yeah. Well, we speak a lot on the old days and just how we were raised. And back in the old days, community was community. When I went up the street, or the neighbor came up the street to my mom's house, my dad's house, my family's house, my grandparents' house, whatever the case may be, we was always in good care because we was not allowed to we did mischievous things and we acted mischievously, but we went unpunished. So in other words, everywhere that we went in the community, we was always in care. Nobody just let you run wild and do things, whatever you wanted to do without being checked. And that's what community does. When I left home back then, my parents knew that I was in a safe environment because everybody around me was not going to let me be that mischievous person that I wanted to be at the time, being a child,
So where was that? Where'd you grow up at? What part of the town?
Well, I came to the town a little bit over 30 years ago. I moved into the city limits. But I grew up just about 4 or 5 miles out in the country area. So that was community, and then when we visited the town, it was the same thing. Community was community. I can remember when you used to be able to walk up and down the streets and The stores were open, and you could go in these stores and shop. You was bumping shoulders with everybody. That's how the town of Enfield used to be, you know. But now we see a landscape that is not so pleasing.
Right.
And it's going to be my vision to help move that forward. To start bringing back some of the visions that were here in the past. Past is good in some cases, but moving forward in present is in most cases the best way.
Wow. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your business and community leadership. Tell us about starting and growing Tony Silver's concrete company. What challenges did you face in those early days and perhaps now?
Yeah. Well, early on, I'm second generation in the concrete business as it pertains to my family. My dad and my uncles, the majority of them were construction. They was in concrete construction. During the summers, summer breaks from school, on the weekends in some cases, that was our part-time job for me and my brother. So that's what we did. My dad always drug us out. My uncle, he always drug us out whenever he needed us, you know. So we came up learning that trade early on. And later on in the years, of course, with school and then joining the military, I went to work with the Department of Corrections briefly. And in the process, it kept pulling me back, you know, because I knew I had this trade. So I felt like then it was time for me to pursue it. So up until today, we've been in business, you know, approximately 26 years. And it's been a great business. And that's going to be one of my visions for this town. I know we hear a lot, I hear a lot about college education, which is key. It's very important. But I don't want us to miss out on opportunity when it comes down to trades. Trades are very important, and that's going to be one of the key factors as it comes to creating jobs. I would be partnering up with some tradesmen as far as electricians, as far as brick masons, as far as other concrete finishers, as far as HVAC guys, to be able to have a place where we can come and sit down and we can have them discussions with our youth, our teenagers. So when they get ready to transition from high school, if they don't want to go off to college, then we can start grooming them as entered apprentices into these trades and give them a future and a career. Because every day in everybody's household, we need one of these trades.
Absolutely.
Every single day.
You know, you talked about your childhood with your uncles, your father, and family business, and how that was important to you and how it shaped you today, and talking about trades and different things. But you also, very importantly, you got your family involved, you got your boys involved and doing different things. And you're absolutely right. I'm on the board of Halifax Community College, and the biggest thing that we're pushing is trades, because that you can find great work in that. And a lot of trades are making more money than people with PhDs and a lot of things of that nature. Talk about your boys and how you got them involved and what you look for.
I drug them into it. In other words, growing up in my household, sitting around playing video games and just idling was not an option, as it was not for me. So that's how, you know, they rode into it, and of course, they tried to pull away from it. But when you look back at your work and you look back at the skill set and you just look back at the reward, when you're doing things right and you're taking the pride and the commitment in your work, it draws you.
Certainly does.
And because in this business, we're not gaining customers. We're building on friendships. We're learning more people, and some of these people are becoming like family, you know? So that's the kind of relationship we have with our customers.
Now, talk about a project that you're really, really proud of, that might have been challenging or might have been a beautiful project or something of that nature. Any couple that sticks out to you that really said, man, this is a challenging project. This is a good project, but I love it.
Most of our projects are challenging. If there's any concrete finisher or like a brick mason or any tradesman that's listening to this, they can attest to it. Every day is different. That's the thing about this trade. You can learn something different about it every day. But what some of the jobs that we have done that we can just kind of look back at and just say, we're so proud of it. It's about 99% of them.
Good. Oh, that's awesome.
There are some now that that you could have gave just a little bit more of your best, but it just didn't turn out that way, because obstacles and things that happen of that nature. But 99% of them, I can look back and say, we did our best and we're so proud of it.
Well, your reputation precedes you, because everybody that knows you, looked at your work, are just so thankful and so proud of the quality and care that you put into it is just bar none. Now, speaking of trades and what you do, you also sit on the Enfield Zoning and Planning Board, and you do a lot of work in town because of that. How does the planning board really fit into this whole picture with your run for office?
Well, sitting on the planning and zoning board, it kind of just gave me some more grooming heading towards where I'm trying to go now. It was just like a grooming process, and just kind of sticking my feet in, get my feet wet. But even before that, I saw visions for the town. I saw things that could be done before I was, selected to be on the board. And being on the board, it gave us opportunity to be able to have the round table discussions and be able to present stuff and just place things on the table that would best suit the community and the town. A lot of them being with some of the vacant properties that we have here that we couldn't do nothing with based on certain things that are in the just in the guidelines that are set forth right now as far as setbacks, how much square footage you needed to build properties on or put a house on. A lot of them challenges that we met and we overcame them. So the town is able to move forward in that degree. That's one of the major things that we have seen done here in the last few years.
Well, Halifax County, specifically Enfield, is a tier 1. Unlike a lot of other properties and a lot of other towns, tier 1 means poverty, means you're not getting the funding that you need, and all those type of things. How do you see us? How do you see yourself? If you're elected, how do you see going through those challenges of tier 1?
Yeah. Now, Mr. Perkins, that's going to be a challenge within itself. We know, but I think the first thing that we're going to have to do is work on mindset of the community. Meaning, I had to change my mindset as it pertains to the community. I spent a lot of time, just like most, saying, well, what can the town do? Why ain't the town doing this? Why ain't the town doing that? I had to start pointing fingers back at myself. So I had to say, well, what can I do for the town? I can start doing some of this stuff. I can start helping to redirect some of these housing crises and things that are going on as far as it pertains to providing a safe, livable space for someone. That's why we built a couple homes here in town. That's why in the city limits. That's why we found and purchased some properties that were dilapidated and just before probably being torn down or just condemned. We found some properties and we did the rehab on them and made them safe spaces and nice livable spaces that I would live in myself. So these are the things that I had to really quicken myself on. Stop asking what's going to happen for me and start putting myself in situations where I can help the town, help my neighbor, And then what that does, that just bleeds on.
Yeah.
That just bleeds home because that's shared hope. That's shared hope. It's just a certain degree of compassion that you have to lower yourself to. Humility is a big key in everything. Humility.
Yeah.
You know.
Enfield, as you know, commissioned a study about 2022 from UNC Growth, which is part of the UNC Chapel Hill study. The study cost about $10,000 to do, and from that, we realized that we're losing probably about $58 to $60 million that are within 10 miles of Enfield. And, you know, so we're just not even going after this money. And this study just kind of opened our eyes to what's passing by, and we're not getting that sort of thing. How do you see us looking at the NC Growth study and putting pieces together to try to get some of that business back? Marketing, outbound, putting a group together. What are you thinking about? How do you address that?
Well, and I did read that study as well, and as you pertaining to the leakage, where we're talking about the 10-mile radius, we're losing some $50-some million as our citizens are going outside of these city limits, 10-mile radius, and spending their monies, and then versus 20 miles out, they're spending some $400-some million. So that's a lot of economic value that's leaving this town, where people have to travel so far to get the things that they need. So I personally, I and the commissioners here would be focused on paying attention to our small businesses that are already here, finding out ways that we can help them and help them grow, and also encouraging other businesses to come to town. And I know that the town is already working on the infrastructure. It's things that they're already working on, things that are needed here in this town to be able to receive new businesses. It's just like, you know, we're praying for rain and we walk outside and ain't got no umbrella. So if you're gonna pray for rain, you got to be prepared for it. So, and I think the process and the ball is already rolling as far as the infrastructure. We're thankful that we have some positive people that are sitting on the boards right now and moving this town forward as it pertains to that, receiving grants and things of that nature. Yeah. And that is one of the things that I will continue to focus on is economic growth. We need that. Yeah. We need more businesses here. We need more places that we can eat. We need more places that people can go and shop for clothing. We need that here. That is, we just want people to be able to be comfortable in their own space.
That's right. How do you, and those are absolutely excellent points, but then it goes outside the city of Enfield, right, by commissioners, because we got the county commissioner, we got the chairman, Vernon Bryant, we got the economic development commissioner with Kathy Scott, we got the tourism commission with Lori Medlin. We need to have all those people in accord to help Enfield. What will you do as mayor to help go to those folks and say, let's work together, let's see what we can do here for Enfield?
Well, this group of people that you just named will be some of the first people at the top of my list to be able to start contacting, setting up meetings, and having these conversations to see exactly what, not only just what they, you know, that's available for Enfield, but also going to them with questions and you know, asking them, you know, just letting them know what we need and how they can help us. These will be the people that are at the top of the list for conversation. So these are the ones that really can get the ball rolling for us, and I know that.
That's beautiful.
We will definitely continue to seek out the grants that's necessary to move these projects forward, you know, with whatever we have to do. Secondly, partnering with these local businesses here. Conversation, being able to present a plan, and just being able to show them the outcome of what will happen with their partnership you know, and it also will shed some light on them, their business as well, you know, community. Even business is community. So if the businesses can't come together and work together, it's going to be the same thing as bringing community together. Yeah. Businesses have got to always be able to support businesses. You know, that's just like me here. If I need some plumbing supplies, I shouldn't jump up and run all the way to Rocky Mount to get it when I know it's a hardware store, 2 hardware stores right here in town. Right. I go right here and pick up the supplies that I need. Right. You know, that's good. That's businesses supporting businesses.
What do you do to try to turn that narrative around to get us back in the good graces in the public's eye?
That's another question that's going to have to go back to mindset, because it's so much separation in this town right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you got a lot of separation, you got a lot of bickering, you got a lot of confusion, it's going to be hard for me to go outside the town and invite somebody in. So if we can get to a point that where we can just flood this town with love and hope and charity, the rest will come. Mm-hmm. The rest will come. Mm-hmm. We'll have people breaking down the doors trying to get in Enfield.
Right. You're obviously big in the church. Talk a little bit about that and how you think the church can play a role in bringing the town together.
Prayer. Prayer. Mm-hmm. Prayer changes things. I know it for a fact. It's changed my life. Mm. I just want to, because when you're talking church and spiritual and community, those are things that hit home for me. You know what I mean? Because both of them are a part of my heart. You know, I love church. I love community. And if we can pair these together, that's where the hope, that's where the love comes in. And this is when the mindset changes.
That's right.
And that's when community will start seeing community as community, not looking at a person because of their faults, not looking at a person because of their skin color. That's where community comes in at. Looking at everyone as this is my brother, this is my sister. Because I know that we have so many problems today. And a whole lot of these problems that we have, we didn't create them. Mm. These problems were forced on us, but at the same time, with the degree of love that we can give back, that's how we transform people. We can't continue just beating it into somebody's head, mm-hmm. because we've learned that stone for stone don't work. So the alternative, but not, it shouldn't be the alternative, is to continue to love. Because if I invite you to dinner, Mr. Perkins,
yeah.
There's the table. Now you get to eat what I have, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. right? So if you enjoy what I fed you, chances are you're going to want to sup with me some more.
That's right.
So same thing with like-minded conversation. If you're on this side of the track and I'm on this side of the track, if we come to the table, we have these conversations. We can feed each other spiritually, mentally, and then we can go to learn each other. Now you see my side. Now you see that I'm able to love the same way you should be able to love. Mindset.
That is so beautiful. And I smile as you're talking about breaking bread together. I don't know if you recall this. A few years back, there was a breakfast for at First Baptist Church, mm-hmm. which you're a member of. And you were feeding everybody, and you brought out these grits. And I was telling the story. I don't ever remember eating grits as a kid. But when I left and I went to New York and New Jersey.
That's what happened.
So I left. So when I got back and you guys cooked those grits and everything, I go, I've had these before, but up there I didn't know. I never had the true grits until I got back down here. So that was a beautiful breakfast that you had and everything. And I even remember the movie night we had there with fathers and the sons, and bringing the fathers and the sons together and trying to showing them a movie about being better fathers and doing various things. So that's a lot. And I think you're right. When you break bread together, you're leaving all your inhibitions outside. You become that humanistic person. Because when I'm talking to you, you get to see me. I get to see you. I get to understand your beliefs. And as you breaking bread, you understand we're in the same boat. We want the same things. We want a better life for our families, our children. And we want a better life for the town that we live in, because you stay here, you love it, and that's the thing that you're looking to do. So my hat's off to you. So let's go back to the mayoral candidate. You decide to put your hat into the ring, and because you had a great vision. Talk again about why you decided to run.
I felt like it's time for me to step outside my comfort zone and just move on to the next level. So that is what brought me here. The question was, for myself again, what is it that I can do? And I feel like it's time. Like I said, sitting on the board, the Planning and Zoning Board, and briefly I was on the Board of Adjustments for a little while. Now I sit on the Housing Selection Committee. That just brings so much compassion to me, because when you know that you're helping that next person, and I feel like moving into the mayor's position, this would just open up more avenues to where I can be able to go have conversations with these other county commissioners and other people at the next level, to be able to share that same compassion that I have for the town. So that's why I decided to move into it, and because I feel like I can be a good candidate. I feel like I would be a good fit for it, because I'm here. I'm here.
Absolutely.
I've been here. I've been doing work here.
Exactly.
So it's just like being on that road, at the crossroad. You're coming from all different directions. I feel like I done came in so many different directions. So now I'm here at the crossroad again. So which way do I go? So now it's time for me to, again, step outside my comfort zone. I know I have a business that I have to run, but challenge is great for me.
So you mentioned community. Is that one of the things you hope to do, is get the community more involved and helping out?
Yes, definitely that.
Okay.
Definitely that. That's going to be key, community. Just everybody doing something, Everybody watching each other's back. Everybody scratching each other's back. Just everybody loving on each other. And once I keep going back to it, but it's this mindset, it just keeps sticking with me. Once we get our mindset right, when somebody commit a crime, we don't get upset with the police because they have done their job. We can't get upset with them because they done their job. We got to start looking at the person that committed it and keep committing it and keep committing it and keep going. So the community's got to start saying, hey man, come on, let's have a conversation. What's going on with you? Is there anything that we can do? Can we help? We can't keep sweeping stuff under the rugs and stuff. When things are happening, we can't act like we don't see it, because that's one of the problems here in this town. It's not an issue until it hits my doorstep. Things are happening right across the street. We turn a blind eye to it, but it ain't my problem. But that's my neighbor, right? That's not community.
Wow.
Community is accountability. But don't wait till it hit on your doorstep now and then come knocking on my door.
That's true.
The tables will turn.
Exactly.
If we keep letting stuff happen. So that's what I want to be able to get to a point where somebody that's coming in this town or gonna commit a crime, they shouldn't feel safe going in nobody's yard around here because we're all on one accord. You come in my yard, no worries. My neighbor see you. My neighbor's gonna make sure my place is okay. That's how we gotta be.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. What's your message to young folks? And you're right, speaking of crime and various other things, and not all young folks do it, and there's good kids in this community. We have the League of Churches choir, and you see these young kids doing it. At the church, you see these young kids in there, but there's a few. But what would your message be to young folks that are coming up in Enfield? Some want to leave as soon as they graduate school, but is there a message that you can convince them to, like you said before, go to community college, get a trade, come back, stay here? What would your message be to these young folks?
My message to the young children nowadays, I know a lot of children nowadays are encouraged to, when you get old enough, leave. A lot are being told that. You go, Enfield has nothing to offer you. But to young folks that's in Enfield, I say, find your passion. You don't have to leave Enfield to find that. Figure out exactly what you want to do at an early age and just get your mind set and straight on, this is what I'm gonna do. Enfield can help you here, or Enfield can help you when you go abroad, wherever you decide to go. But don't forget about Enfield, because Enfield is gonna be doing some great things. Don't sleep on Enfield. But I would ask that they would just stay encouraged. And a lot of our young children, I can't, all right, I be real careful how I approach situations, Mr. Perkins, as far as it pertains to spirituality. All right, example, a child might need to have a conversation with me or you or whoever the case may be, and first thing, a lot of us, we'll say, well, you need to pray, you need to talk to God. That's fine, but they don't know God like I do. They don't know God like you do. Sometimes children just need a person, a physical being, to have a conversation with them that can take a little bit of time with them, that can change the whole dynamics of their life. Some of them just need time. Mm-hmm. Some of them don't need every time they ask you for 50 cents or $1, you give it to them and send them on about their business. Grab that child by the hand, sit them down, have a conversation with them, find out what their desires are, find out what their passion is. Just have a moment with them and open yourself up for conversation anytime they need it. Some of them just need a conversation, somebody to talk to. I found that out. Mm-hmm. Some of them are lost. That's why they walk up and down the street all the time. They just lost. They don't have no vision, no insight on nothing. They just need a conversation. Wow. And that's why I say we got to get to where community is community. We got to start loving on each other. It's no way around it. That's right. Things ain't gonna change without love. It ain't gonna change. Yeah.
You mentioned before we start recording about the years of service in the military. Mm-hmm. Talk about how many years of service and how that's helped you as well.
Well, the years of service, I had 11 years and a little bit over a month. But that gave me the discipline that I needed. The discipline, the respect for the next person. Yes sir, no sir. And that's another thing that my parents taught me. They always told me to be respectful, no matter who it is. You say yes sir, no sir. They are the ones that are gonna authorize you to call them anything else. Mm-hmm. You call them sir, mister, or whatever until that person gives you the permission to call them James or whatever the case may be.
Well, call me Larry.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, instead of Mr. Perkins. Yeah. So I had to wait on the permission, right? So
I was wondering what that was. But that's good.
But that, along with the military, and the military, is one of the things that teaches you to just overcome. Military's battle is fight, and it's also loaded with discipline.
Right.
Hard
Are
lessons.
you glad that you served? Are you and proud of that?
Yes, I honor my service today. I'm so proud of it that I know that the trajectory of my life would be different had I not been in the military, because I know it did a lot for me for its discipline, health-wise. They'll teach you a lot about trying to stay healthy and doing the right things and stuff right there, but especially discipline, especially. And that's what some of our youth need today. They really need some discipline.
Well, Tony, thank you so very much. I am so proud of you and all the work that you've done here in Enfield. Your family, your lovely wife, Delrisa, and your boys and your children, all are engaged here. And I see you. Everybody sees you. Everybody knows that Mr. Tony Silver is doing a lot of great things in Enfield, and everybody's rooting for you. Any final message you want to say to the voters?
My message to the voters would be just this. May the works that I have done and am doing speak for me.
Excellent.
Those are my final words.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. This has been Town by Town Broadcasting, celebrating our roots with Mr. Tony Silver. So, Tony, thank you so very much for being with us today. And God bless you. Good luck, and we're rooting for you.
Thank you, Larry, for having me.
That's awesome. That's amazing. First time. It's like, what?